Hello, potato. It is carnival season now. We're in the middle of fair season, but we have no fair to go to this week. I mean, yes, last week was the Placer County Fair, and next week begins the California State Fair, but this week there is no fair to attend. I mean, I'm sure there is one somewhere in California. There's a fair going on right now that I'm not going to, but it is time to work on the fair at home, and that is to set up the Lego Carnival. Every summer I set up a Lego, well, almost every summer. There are a couple summers I've skipped it, but most summers I set up a Lego Carnival in place of where my city is during the beginning of the year and where Halloween is in the autumn. And so for the carnival today, we're going to be looking at kit 31084, the Creator 3-in-1 Pirate Roller Coaster. Now you're looking, going, Void, you've already put this together. This is already assembled. Yes, it is. It came out in 2018. It was 923 pieces. And yeah, it has been a fixture in the carnival for a number of years now. Because yeah, it just kind of looks cool and I wanted a coaster. And this is the reason why I believe it was last year when we had the Creator 3-in-1 Space Coaster. We didn't build it as a coaster, but instead built it as a drop ride because there's not room for two coasters or two full-on coasters in my carnival. I would love there to be room for it, but there just physically is not. And I made the choice last time when comparing the Space Coaster to the Pirate Coaster to keep the Pirate Coaster. I liked the look of the Pirate Coaster. And so Space became a drop tower because I don't have a drop tower in the park, or at least I didn't at the time. I do now. But then last year, at the end of the summer in August, because they always release these for some reason like in August or September, never in the beginning of the season when I could put it in my park for the year, but at the end when I can get it and then put it away for next year so that when I do a video on it, it'll already be a year old. But last year they released kit 60421, the Robot World Roller Coaster Park. And so I picked that up naturally, and we'll be doing that video. State Fair's coming up, so probably next month we'll see that video, although I will have to build it before then. And that kit's 986 pieces, a little bit bigger, but that one's not a 3-in-1 Creator kit. That's a Lego City kit. And so it can only be built as a coaster. I mean, yes, I could be creative, but that's not the way we do here. So if I wanted the robot coaster, that meant the Pirate Coaster was gonna have to go. And that's what we're doing today. I have brought us the Pirate Coaster in its original basic configuration. I have tried to make sure we have all the original parts. I've got all 4 of the minifigures, plus this extra one here. Oh, hold on a second. I've also got this extra one here. These are both ones that got built from the Building Minifigure thing at the Lego store. I'm not super happy with his face. It's gonna probably be changed. And then we have this little kind of skeleton pirate over here. Yeah, these guys aren't original to the set, so they're just extras because they're pirates. Anyway, so I do have the original figures back. Only thing I think we're missing, or that I'm reasonably sure missing, I guess it could be here somewhere and I'm just not seeing it, is this little, I think it's supposed to be a parrot or a tropical bird of some sort. Yeah, I don't know what became of that. That might have gotten put into the camping stuff because there are a lot of brick-built animals in the camping sets. So that hopefully that is not integral to what we need to do, because today we are going to build it into one of its other forms. And there are the other forms there. We have a kind of a carousel-y little pirate coaster circular thing. And then we have this sort of like tidal wave pirate ship ride thing here. And I do like the skull on this, but I already have like 3 or 4 carousel style flat rides in the carnival. I mean, that's normal. You see a lot of those kind of rides at your local carnival, but I don't have anything like this. So kind of like when we turned the Space Coaster into the drop tower, even though I really do like that skull, I do think we're gonna go ahead and build this one here. So this could be an interesting build. It's only the second time I've ever converted a creator kit from one build to another. The other, not in a video. I don't think it was in the video anyways. I think it predates the videos. I had found a second of the Sun Cruiser 3-in-1 little beach fan at Half Price Books for like, I think 30 or 40 bucks. And I had like a 40% off coupon. And I picked it up even though I already had the original kit and turned it into the car, which exists in the city, which means it's now in a bin and put away until next January. But this is only the second time I've ever taken a pre-built creator set and built a different build out of it. And this creates some interesting extra complications. One, as you can see, the footprint on this is huge. It takes up almost my entire workspace here. That's going to be a problem as I dismantle it and rebuild. Because yeah, of course, the smart thing would be to just dismantle the whole thing and sort the pieces out, but that's not the void of intelligence way. We are going to dismantle it as we need to get to the parts, which will probably take longer, will be more work, and will probably very quickly run into issues of not having enough space until this is broken down enough to need it. Now we're gonna have a lot of leftover parts. Last year when I built the Space Coaster as the drop tower, I have a whole zip top bag full of extra pieces. Sadly, they don't design these so you can build like the second and third builds with the parts. That would be really cool if they could do that, is design them so that you have the one main build and then the ability to build multiple smaller builds with the leftovers. But I mean, it's already cool that you can build 3 different things with instructions. Because, you know, of course, for those of us who are old enough, when I was a kid, the back of the box always showed alternate builds, but it never gave you instructions on how to build them. And being as the internet didn't exist yet, or at least not in any format that the average person could use, there was no way to like get those instructions online or anything. You had to kind of work it out on your own if you wanted to build your car as a different kind of car. So yeah, I'm flipping over here to the third section of the instruction booklet, which has an ad for the old yacht on it. But we're going to build us so this is what the other one would have looked like, which is pretty cool. But we're going to build us my bookmark. We're going to build us up the kind of pirate ship tidal wave looking thing. It's, I think it was 96 steps total. So not bad. Again, that's why I think we're going to have a lot of leftover parts. You know, I think there's an ad. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. 31079. Yeah, I have it in that configuration as part of my camping series, but I turned the second one I got into the car to go into the city. And yeah, so that was the thing that happened. Well, I've already started breaking it down. That's fantastic. There we go. So yeah, we're gonna turn our old kit. Again, hopefully that one little missing bird will not have pieces integral to the construction of our coaster, like tidal wave coaster, but we'll find out. And yeah, we're gonna by the time this is done, we're gonna have a whole bunch of extra parts and a new ride with a much smaller footprint to make room for the Robot World coaster. So I guess before we tear it down, we should go through how this works. Let me put it back over here to the loading bay. Now, so yeah, your Lego characters get on the coaster here at the load. Very nicely themed, honestly, for a carnival. Very nicely themed loading area. And then you go around out the gate. I think some of the track may be a little misaligned. It's not going totally smoothly. Up the launch hill, through the skull here, which definitely seems like a head injury issue. Past this cool little octopus that's like reaching up trying to grab your train. As you can see, it's a little shark train, which is pretty cool. And now stuck there. Come on, forward. Down and around through the pirate ship where I've put the pirate skeleton there, like it's attacking the ride, and then down. I have never hit that ship before, and I've hit it twice in the last minute. Then down the final drop, through the splash pool and back into the loading bay. It's a very short ride, probably something you would go through multiple times in the real carnival. Also kind of like this. This doesn't always work properly, but I do, when it works, I do like the little splash up there. This is supposed to be water. It's not supposed to be blue fire. It is supposed to be water. And yeah, we also had a little balloon cart. I have 2 extra pirates now. We have a cannon. It's all very cute. But now it dies. So let's enjoy it again now. One last look at it in all of its pirate coastery glory. Maybe someday I will have the space to restore it back. Maybe I can have a whole coaster carnival. Even get those 2 big coasters I didn't get because they were like $400 and also would have taken up a humongous amount of my available space. Let's take one last look at the pirate coaster, 3-in-1 Creator Pirate Coaster, before it's closed for good and we build a new ride on the side of it. All right, that's that. It's shut the ride down. Everybody off. Everybody off the ride. Come on. You probably haven't been out of this train for a long time, but out you come. And we're gonna close the gates and head into the fast forward. See you at the front of the line. There we go, the rebuild of Kit 31084, the Creator 3-in-1 Pirate Roller Coaster is, well, still sort of a pirate roller coaster. But first, we do, as I figured, have a lot of leftover parts. So let's clean that up real quick. There we go, that's better. So now we can spread out our new build a bit and discuss. So here are our original figures, and here are the ones that I've added in. All right, so first thing to discuss, I mean, it was quite a bit of work. I spent a lot of time looking for things. That, to be fair, I mean, even in its original, like if I just opened the bags up and did this build, I might still have had some of that issue. I had some problems in that there were parts that I couldn't find because they were hidden inside of other things that I just didn't realize they were there. But, you know, I found those in the end. But we do still have a couple missing pieces. So remember at the beginning of the video, I mentioned how I hoped the fact this little bird was missing would not be a problem. Well, it was a problem in that I need that little bird to make the bird that's supposed to go up here. So there's no bird up there. That said, the bird is missing from the original build as well, so not a huge loss. Slightly bigger is there is meant to be one of these little light blue slope pieces over here to kind of stabilize this. And unless I misused a light blue one or I was supposed to use a dark blue one somewhere, I am short one of those. I know we have a few of those light blue used around. So maybe if I go back to the instructions, I'll find somewhere where I mistook somehow and used because they were all saying gray ones and dark blue ones in the set. So if I somehow misused one of those, but that thing can be fixed later. Alternately, I can put another color on there or swap both colors out or look through all my extra loose Lego to see if I have another one of those pieces somewhere. It's not a huge issue. Now, with that addressed, let's address let's address the ride itself. So we now have, I'm guessing, a souvenir shop here. Cute. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be some sort of a game. I'm not 100% sure what that's meant to be. Obviously here we have the ticket booth, where they also sell balloons. There's a little gate. That's actually very cute. Also, it seems to be where they run the ride from, judging by the lights and the switch. And we redid the cannon to be like this, instead of on multiple wheels or 4 wheels like it was in the original build. And the ride camera from the original build has been converted to something for the kid to hold. Now the ride itself, fairly straightforward. It's kind of a coaster version of one of those rocking boat rides. So in theory, the ride, will go up here and then drop down and go back and forth probably a few times. Now this does rely on this being lined up perfectly. In the old build, the tracks were held together by 2x2 plates. Here they're just lined up and held in place by other pieces. So if there is any sort of misalignment, this is all going to come crashing to a halt. But there are a couple problems in the build that I am having. You may have noticed them in the fast forward, or indeed notice them looking at this now, which is that the blue flames here are meant to stand up like this, but if you just they fall over. There, I don't think there's anything I missed in there when it came to putting that up. Oh, also I am missing, he's supposed to have like a pink crystal in his hand. I think that was probably originally in the this brown bin, and probably at some point fell out during storage sessions. I do have extra ones of those kind of pieces, so I can just replace that with something else. But yeah, see, if you look at it here, it's the black 4-piece stuck onto this. It doesn't show anything. Wait, yeah, it does. What is... Oh! There's this yellow piece. This piece. I totally forgot this piece was there. and it wasn't folded up to 90 degrees. That's why this was falling over. So with that fixed, I'm not gonna pick the whole thing up and move it. Trust me, it's there. With that fixed, and if I can reassemble this with my big rock biter hands without actually flipping around to look at it. Ah, there we go. That problem fixed. Okay, that's, well, more or less fixed. Can we put that up more? There we go. Okay, that's fixed. All right, that's good. That's fixed. The other problem I had is the release mechanism. So the instructions show that this black piece here should notch into the back of the last car to hold it up. And now it does. Okay. It wouldn't do that. If you watch in the fast forward, I mean, it may go by pretty quickly, but I tried that multiple times and it didn't work. But now it's up. Okay, so now you pull back on this to release the ride. So it's a cute little alternate build. I don't like it as much as our original coaster, but this will be very easy to fit into the ride now, or into the park rather, into my carnival, and leave room for the robot coaster to go in. You know, you can't stand there, otherwise you'll get hit by the boat. For the robot coaster to go into there and be a new addition to the carnival. I also have a new food truck, the donut truck that I need to build to put into the park. Let's put you up here. The two of you can forever ride the pirate ship. I don't know, maybe I'll put the kid in the back. We have a cute little cannon. We have all of our minifigures accounted for. So the other thing we're missing is that blue slant there and the bird. I think it was supposed to go on this. But otherwise, I think it came out pretty good. But yeah, it does not use all the pieces, which is to be expected with these alternate builds in a creator set. But it does allow me to keep this character, this ride, this kit, this set, this construction in the carnival after a fashion. Although I will miss the pirate coaster with its cool little castle boarding area. But this is nice too. And gotta make room for new things. It's like just like growing up at Great America, and they tore out the Whizzer, replaced it with Rip-Roaring Rapids. Yeah, we all miss the Whizzer, although it was a very dull roller coaster. But you have to keep making new things, otherwise people won't come back to your park. But that was a long build. I think probably a good 3 hours of my own time. And again, a lot of that just comes because I didn't take everything apart and sort it first, but I don't take things apart and sort them anyways. So I don't know that this would have taken any less time, other than the fact I wouldn't have had trouble like finding those two little yellow pieces there. But that's going to wrap this up. That is the rebuild of Kit 31084, the Creator 3-in-1 Pirate Roller Coaster, now still a form of coaster, but not a more traditional one. Is that? No, that's not. Well, I guess that's correct. So that doesn't seem like it's seated right, but I guess that did have a kind of a weird spacing issue there. All right. So have you built 31084? Have you built and rebuilt 31084? Which is your preferred configuration for it? Do you think I should have gone for option 2 instead and had another kind of carousel style flat ride in the park? Let me know in the comments below. But I do hope you found this all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Let's do it one more time. Can I get it to lock again? No, see, that's what I was doing before. just doesn't, it doesn't. Yeah, there you go.